What up, y'all? DC Fago guy. Welcome back to What's Happening Now, our look at the underground happenings. Real quick before I jump into this, I think I mentioned it in a previous video. I might not have. I just got over COVID like a few days ago. All good, but I do have a little bit of a lingering cough, so I'm going to do my best not to cough in this video, or to, at the least in the editing process, get those motherfuckers out. If I miss them, I'm going to apologize in advance, especially for anybody that are headphone users. But wanted to just kind of put that disclaimer out because it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen. So we got a few things to talk about. There wasn't a lot that has happened, and I actually had stuff ready to do this video a few days ago, probably about a week ago, maybe even. I was starting to get stuff together, but then some of the stuff that I was going to report on, I don't know why I say report, some of the stuff I had together to talk about, I was like, I don't know if that's really going to be like a substantial video. But then more stuff kind of came out, and I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with it. So not a whole lot to talk about, but enough. But I also kind of want to shift a little bit and do some other types of videos. So as long as things continue to happen, I will be doing What's Happening Now videos. The strive was never to be like the #1 news network or source. Not at all. This is me literally just giving my thoughts and opinions on things that are happening on the news that is happening. It's not me giving the news. If you're coming to me for your news source, I appreciate it, but I am not the #1 news source. Fago lovers will always be. If you like Fago lovers. If you don't fuck with Fago lovers, then something else is probably your #1 news source. But I digress. My goal is going to be to try to shift and do some different types of videos just to kind of sprinkle in. So I don't know. I had in my head like a schedule of when I wanted to put videos out, but it's also like I don't want to stick to a schedule to just put videos out, to just do videos, to have videos, to do videos. If that makes any sense. I've rambled on for 2 minutes. Let's jump the fuck into this. What's happening now, motherfuckers? The Evil Across America tour. Ala Zulu originally teased this a couple weeks ago, but when they teased it that they were just booking it. And that, again, that was one of the items that I was going to kind of talk about, but I was like, there's really not much to say here, just that they're going on tour. Well, now we have the full tour, and actually, I don't even think this is considered the full tour, because in their post and in this flyer here, it actually says, book us, email. Want to perform? Email. Like, so I think that this is just like the initial run dates, and there's either going to be more added to it, because, I mean, kind of looking at it, I see holes. I do see some holes in the timeline of where they could, add some more dates or extend some dates out. I mean, as of right now, the dates for this tour lead up all the way to April 19th. And we haven't heard anything about Camp Zool yet, so I'm assuming that's going to be in June per usual. I don't know if the float affects that or not, with the float being in June this year. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled for that. But Ala Zul Ilu, long live evil, rather. As a label, it's Ala Zul Ilu, super famous fun time guys, and SON, who, interestingly, on some of the DSPs, rebranded to something out of nothing. For those who didn't know, that's what SON stood for. So, their first, they already went on tour together as a label back in November. It was a very short run. I think it went for 2 weeks. This thing is massive. I mean, this is all of March, about middle of March, and into the middle of April. So they're going for a good solid month on this one, and they're going across America. They're starting in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, where's this? Gastonia. Where's Gastonia at? They don't even list where the state is for Gastonia. Virginia, Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Montana. God damn, from New Mexico to Montana, that's going to be an interesting drive. Washington, Idaho, Utah, Iowa. I mean, they're going all over the place. And they are hitting 2 dates in Indiana, as well as they are hitting Louisville, Kentucky. Megs and I have our eyes set on one specific date. It falls on a weekend. It's in Indiana. It's the closest to us because we're in northern Indiana. So we have our eyes set on one. It's going to be my first time ever going to Shelbyville. I mean, I drove through it to go to Camp Zool, but this will be my first time ever actually going to Shelbyville. But that's kind of where my sights are at right now for that. And so, yeah. But Evil Across America, Long Live Evil, as a label, hitting the road. I do believe, I don't remember the exact release date, but by the time this tour kicks off, we should have the brand new SON album, The Bastard Son, King Umbra, The Bastard Son. And I would like, by then, to at least have the pre-orders for Gods of Evil Rise. My assumption and my hope would be that that album would be out by then. But at this point, who the fuck knows? We've heard nothing. Absolutely nothing about that. Just got a single, got a couple of merch items. That's it. Radio silence. I really feel like the ball is in MNE's court at this point. Like, they're the ones that's needing to get this thing off the ground. I think All Out Zulu's done everything that they can on their end. So, like, to see them go on this tour gets me excited because, like, they're not letting that kind of hold them back. Like, let's just fucking go. And also, interestingly enough, like, I don't see any MNE logos on these flyers anywhere. So I definitely think this is a full independent venture for them as Long Live Evil. I guess you could say, like, not with sponsorships or whatever. But very excited to see them going on the road. Again, I just saw them in November on their little tour. They hit Fort Wayne, and I am definitely excited to see them again. Long Live Evil for me is that label that, and when I say this, like, I'm very firmly in the camp of the future of the wicked shit, the future of the Juggalo scene. I don't place it with just one entity. Like, I don't really care. It's not my cup of tea. Ouija Mac's music is he's just not. Dario Trail as well. So for me, Chapter 17 is not something that I look at and say, for me, oh, this is the future of the wicked shit. This is the future of the Juggalo scene. But when I look at Long Live Evil and I'm listening to that music and I like it, and the vibes that I get from it is very nostalgic for me, they, to me, are the future of the wicked shit. I will agree, though, that I do see and acknowledge that Chapter 17 will be as well. I don't think that falls on just one entity solely. I think they both are going to be the future. You know what I mean? So seeing them work together would be really, really cool. I love that Clockworky is kind of like that bridge, because they've done stuff with Chapter 17 and they've, like, at shows, and they've also done stuff with Long Live Evil, obviously. So I think it would be really cool to see them start to rub elbows more, especially after, you know, Zool's no longer part of MNE. When it's finally okay and acceptable to do that, maybe, I don't know. There's still so many politics that goes into it all, but I am somebody who wholeheartedly, I feel like Chapter 17 and Long Live Evil together are the future of the wicked shit. So seeing Zool and Long Live Evil go on this fucking tour, absolutely excited. I'm excited for the future of what they have. So yeah, shifting it on over then to Juggalo Weekend. We have the full lineup announced. They're doing ICP's Tunnel of Love show on Valentine's Day. The lineup for that will be a live taping of JCW Lunacy. Darby O'Trill will be performing, which is dope for him. Lardy B will be back in the fold, and Chris Calico will be back in the fold. Very cool. Very dope to see that lineup right there. It's very cool to see them doing Tunnel of Love. It makes sense. It's Valentine's Day. They've already done one of these performances for Juggalo Weekend before, back in 2017. They did one night of Tunnel of Love and then one night of Amazing Chuckle Brothers. That was St. Petersburg, Florida, I believe. That was originally going to be like the goated fucking Juggalo Weekend, but obviously things happened that happened, and we didn't get that fucking massive fucking show that entities rubbing elbows, you know, Magic Ninja and Psychopathic Records. That was goated. That was slated to be a goated fucking event. But from what I had seen, people still had a really good time, even though it was Tunnel of Love and Amazing Chuckle Brothers. ICP always fucking kills it. Always. So that's going down on Friday. Then on Saturday, ICP they're doing another live taping of JCW Lunacy. Tierra Diaz is going to be performing. Whitney Payton will be back in the fold. And Ouija Mac will be there. And pretty much anytime that ICP announces any kind of event, I always just assume Ouija Mac is going to be there. I don't think they've had a concert since 2018 that they didn't have Ouija Mac perform at. I'm pretty positive they've never had a show without him. Someone find that out for me, confirm that for me. But I'm pretty positive they've never had a show without him since 2018. So that'll be pretty cool. And my assumption is the ICP performance will be just kind of like a regular ICP performance, you know, where they do a normal set list, have the Fago, all that good stuff. So Juggalo weekend going down, the Palladium in Worcester, Mass. Worcester? I thought for sure I was saying Worcester right, but somebody fucking corrected me in one of the videos where I first mentioned it. So I don't just fucking flame me. I don't really give a shit. So moving on to keeping it on that event, the DCG Con, there was some more things that they had kind of announced on that. One of the things that I was going to talk about, but I decided to scrap, was that they're looking for people to host events. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to talk about it anyways. They put a post out for anyone who wants to host an event at the DCG Con. And what I wanted to talk about with that is I was going through the comments, which is something I try not to do because the comments section is just absolutely dumb. Facebook, YouTube, well, not YouTube. Sometimes YouTube can be pretty good. Fucking Instagram sometimes can be stupid. Twitter can be stupid. Like, people just get dumb. And with their opinions out there, it just gets, sometimes interactions just get dumb. But I was watching people react to the fact that they made that post, and they're like, great, I'm paraphrasing, but people were like literally complaining that they were having Juggalos host events. They took that as they weren't going to have anything substantial themselves going on at the DCG Con, and they were just relying on the Juggalos to do it, which is not true. The last DCG Con that they did in 2018, they did the same thing. Carnival Spirits was part of, like, they worked with Keegan the Creep to do like a gaming tournament thing there. So it's not something new that they've done. It's something they're bringing back for the DCG Con, which was really cool to see that they did that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk on that because, like, if there's anyone out there that's having those thoughts that watches my videos, that's not true. That's not what it's boiling down to. And as we carry on, you'll see why. So they did also announce the map. The map had some interesting things on there for me. Had a lot of your usual suspects, you know, the merch table, the games library. God damn it. The games library is there. They've got a movie tent, but they've split it into two. They have anime movies and nerdy movies, which I thought was interesting because I think the two kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Aren't typically anime fans kind of nerdy? I know I wouldn't say I'm an anime fan, but like I would call myself a nerd, and I like some anime, so I don't know. But interesting that they did that. They've got inflatable games now set up, which, Jesus, get it together. Which at the first DCG Con, they simply just had like a ring set up, and you know, they had those like big things you could like hit people with. So I'm assuming that that's maybe what the inflatable games is going to be, because then they also have an inflatable obstacle course, but they're not like by each other. And I feel like that's a missed opportunity, and probably has absolutely nothing to do with Psychopathic Records and probably everything to do with the venue or the hotel. So interesting that they wouldn't get them together. They got stand-up arcade. They got a flavor area, which the flavor area has a stage, so it's kind of like a seminar area, if you will. So definitely some things in there that was interesting. And then, of course, like I said, the usual suspects. They have an area for all the gaming. And if you've never been to the DCG Con, I've got videos. Megs has videos. I will try to remember to link them in the description so you can kind of get an idea of like what it's like. It's like it's like your typical convention center area. They will have like those like fences set up, and they'll have like areas split up like that, the different areas like that. But yeah, the DCG Con is definitely a very chill vibe compared to, you know, the Gathering, compared to concerts. It's very much a hang out with your homies kind of vibe. Absolutely fucking love it. So also on that note, they did announce the timeline for both days, and they've got quite a bit going on. Obviously, the big focus for the DCG Con is the gaming. So there is tournaments going on basically all fucking day. They'll have like heads up tournaments, they'll have team tournaments, and they'll have 4-player tournaments. So the heads up, if I'm not mistaken, is literally just a one-on-one tournament, you versus one other person. And then the 4-player obviously is 4-player, and then teams is 4 players, but 2 of you are in teams. So there's different ways to participate. They've got a Quest for Shangri-La tournament going basically all day. Texas Hold'em tournament, which they've had that since the first DCG Con, which interestingly enough, I never participated in that. I'm not the greatest poker player, but I'm decent. Another thing that they have, and I cannot remember, I don't think they had it at the first DCG Con, but I think they may have had it at the second DCG Con, was like a casino area, which is really cool. I don't know if I think it said it was free. Let me look in here real quick. I'm pretty sure it said free. Yeah, right there. Big Baby Chips Casino. Free casino gaming for prizes. So that's cool. You play to win a prize, and it's probably either a merch item from the merch booth or a gift certificate for the merch booth is what my assumption would be. So I'm curious though how you would get tokens to do that. I would assume maybe you would get tokens and then turn those tokens in. But how would you get your starting token? I feel I don't know, and this is just me fucking ADHD going off on a tangent now. I apologize for this. But I wonder if maybe when you get your ticket, they'll give you X amount of tokens, or when you go to the casino, you can show your ticket and you get X amount of tokens to start with. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know how they're going to work that. Like I said, I do not remember them having it at the first DCG Con. They may have included that in the second one, which I did not attend. So, and that really only kind of took place for one day before it got shut down. So anyone that went there, and if they did have the casino and they do know how the process was, just, comment down below. But they've got quite a bit of stuff going on here that I think is really cool. And it really, my FOMO's kicking in of wanting to go to this now, but it's at the point now, time frame wise, where I don't have the PTO to do it, and I don't have the time to really plan to make it out there. So, and again, the big if of weather, plan to make all the plans to go, to make all the investments to go, and then have to cancel because of weather is also my big hang up. So I would, again, hammering it really home that I hope this thing succeeds. And then next year we'll see the DCG Con return in April. That's when the first one was. And I believe the second one was in May, maybe, I think. Ironically, I just realized I'm wearing my shirt from that. So, yeah, a lot of really cool stuff. The eye catcher for me on the timeline was artist autographs. I don't know if that is Tom Wood or different artists like that, or do they literally mean artists from Psychopathic Records? Do they mean Ouija Mac? Do they mean ICP? I mean, obviously at this point it's just ICP on Psychopathic Records. So would they have the artists who are going to be performing at Juggalo Weekend come and do autographs? I don't know. I don't know. That's the big one that's got me wondering what exactly is this pertaining to when they say autographs? Is this Jump Steady and the designers of the DCG, the Dark Carnival games? Is it them? What all does it pertain to as far as autographs go? Because interestingly enough, this would be the first time, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time in many years that they've done that. If you don't know, back in the day at the Gathering, they used to have an autograph tent where you could go and get ICP and everyone at Psychopathic Records autographs for free. You didn't have to pay for VIP. I'm pretty positive that VIP is what killed it. And I think, and I may be wrong, I think the last time they did autographs like that was either Gathering 17 or at the Fucklahoma Gathering in 2017. So it was one of those. It was definitely by the time Whoopstock came around in 2018, it was kind of done. And then they just haven't had autographs since. So this will be the first event that they've had. If it's what I'm thinking, it'll be the first time since then that they've done autographs. And part of me thinks that's probably not the case. just because VIP is a thing now, and why would you give your autograph away for free, but then charge these guys to come do a meet and greet with you? So I don't know. There's questions I have for that. But then the other thing that really caught my eye was the Shark Tank. Juggalo Shark Tank. If you have an idea you would like to pitch directly to Jump Steady, Nathan Extra, and Nerdy Nathan, then here is your chance to do it live on stage. Do you have a game invention, or perhaps you just want to pitch yourself to work at Psychopathic or perform at the 25th annual Gathering of the Juggalos? Then why send an email to be lost in the cyber sea when you can do it face to face? Bring photos or videos to help you make your pitch, as we will have a monitor to showcase them to the sharks and crowd. That actually seems really neat. And it immediately, for me, I don't have specifically games that I want to do, but I have Into the Echo Side ideas. And I'm going to link a video. I'm trying to remember to link a video for a video I did, God, clear back in 2016 when Into the Echo Side first came out. I was still part of Carnival Spirits. That's where that video is from, of me coming up with different ideas for cards that they could introduce to the expansion for Into the Echo Side. And I actually emailed it to Rob, and he apparently watched it, and he had said that some of the ideas, or some of the things were cards that they already had kind of in the, like the names were cards that they already had in the works. So, and again, this predated the actual expansion, so I think for me, like, if I was going, I would be sitting down right now and coming up with my little presentation of, like, how do we get it back? How do we get Into the Echo Side to be a thing? Because, like, one of my big pitches, and I remember this, I've talked about it, I think, a few times in old-ass videos that are lost in the sauce, so I'm going to mention it again here just for the sake of, like, bringing it back up. But one idea I thought always would have been really fucking cool for Into the Echo Side was when new albums come out to have little booster packs that come with like 2 or 3 Juggalo cards, a new flavor card that's themed after a song on the album, an epic card that's of the Joker card that's in the album, or, like a different, what I mean? Like, just to keep building onto the game, have these little booster packs that would come out with new albums. That to me is an idea that I still stand behind. I feel like Into the Echo Side just kind of faded off into the distance. And I'm pretty sure I know why. I think there's not as much interest as they were hoping in it. But like that for me is something that I'm very passionate about, is getting that, resuscitated and brought back to life. And, obviously resources are stretched more thin nowadays, especially even for Psychopathic Records. So, continuing to go down that road may have been something where they're like, we just can't. So maybe that's why it kind of, drifted off. But I'm hoping the DCG Con helps reignite some of that, because we do have a lot of new Juggalos coming into the scene. So, like, there's people that I feel like don't even know that that's really there. I feel like this is a really good opportunity to reintroduce some of that stuff to this younger crowd of Juggalos that are coming into the scene. So, again, very, very excited for the DCG Con. Absolutely hope that it's successful and that it becomes its regular event again. So, moving on to the main topic of this video, Twiztid gets canceled. That's the clickbait title that I am choosing for this video. I am referring to the tour that they were going to be a supporting artist on, which was the Fiend with Friends tour. It was Coal Chamber headlining, featuring support from Fear Factory, Twiztid, Wednesday 13, I think was the name of the band, and I think 1 or 2 others. And then obviously there would be different openers. The tour has officially been canceled. I had seen some places where it was reported that it would be postponed, but everywhere I'm seeing, like, to me, says canceled, which honestly I think is the best route to go rather than postpone it again. Just cancel it, reassess it at a different date. So Twiztid made a post about it. It is with great sadness that we announce the cancellation of our upcoming tour with Coal Chamber due to serious health concerns regarding Dez. Our thoughts are with him, and we are sending all our love and support as he focuses on his recovery. We were incredibly honored to have been included in this tour, and while we won't be hitting the road together, Dez's health and well-being are what matter most right now. Get well, brother. Twiztid. So, and one of my kind of first initial thoughts to this, and when it got postponed the first time, I kind of had it in the back of my head if it was to get postponed again. Like, I would honestly love to see Fear Factory really kind of bump up into the role of the headlining artist for this tour, and then keep it kind of going as it was. Maybe keep, work with the venues, rebrand the tour as something for them, like, recalibrated, or, I don't want to say Rise of the Machine, because I feel like that's a tour they've already done before. But, there's something that I feel could have done, because, they've really been on this touring grind right now, and I think I know why, and we'll get to that in a minute. But that was one idea I initially and originally had. I think this tour getting canceled definitely is going to put a major hitch in Twiztid's plans. Again, I think that their original release date for Welcome to Your Funeral was supposed to be August, early September of last year, where they would then hop on the tour with Coal Chamber and support that album. And when that first tour got postponed to, March and April of this year, they ended up rescheduling, more or less, the release date for Welcome to Your Funeral, so that it would come out and then they would go on this tour. Well, now with the tour being completely canceled, I think I feel like that really put a lot of hitch in their plans. And I had just seen that Monoxide was live, and I'd seen some people talking about it, where he wants to do some stuff in the summertime, and that's pertaining to the Warped Tour. But, there's this part of me that wonders if they couldn't just go on a tour themselves in the spring, but they've also got Astronomicon going on. So, I definitely think this throws a huge wrench in their plans of what they had for that album. And I'm curious now how badly that will affect that album as far as how it performs. Obviously, there's a lot of juggalos that just aren't into that sound. They don't really care for Twiztid Sister, which is what I call them when they do their rock stuff. So I think that this tour was really going to be important for them to get out in front of a different audience. And, I have different thoughts on that when it comes to Twiztid and trying to, push to a different crowd. But I feel like I'll talk about that more when I do my Unlikely Prescription review, which I would like to do before Welcome to Your Funeral comes out. But there's definitely something in my head where I was like, I feel like they did it wrong, and they should have done it differently as far as how they were going to tackle their rock sound and the rock stuff that they're doing. But again, we'll talk about that in my review for Unlikely Prescription. But yeah, this tour getting canceled, for me, it was a bummer, because I was looking forward to seeing Fear Factory. I've been wanting to see them with Milo. Milo is the newest singer for Fear Factory. If you don't know, Burton left the band. And I've been really excited to go see them with him. I've watched videos, and from the videos I've seen, he absolutely fucking kills it. I've only ever seen Fear Factory one time with Burton. I've watched plenty of videos, and I am one of those people that acknowledges when it came to the live shows, Burton definitely struggled. So going and being able to see Fear Factory and have a singer who does not have those struggles is something that I was really looking forward to. So I'm kind of bummed that I won't get to go see them on this tour, but they're still touring like crazy. They're still hitting. I think they got a major tour going on in Europe. I believe they're hitting parts of Mexico as well as South America, possibly even Australia. Man, Fear Factory is, again, they've just been grinding, and I know why that is. Dino has been talking about it on Twitter before. I think he's even said it in interviews that right now touring for them has been just kind of like re-getting back into gear as far as Fear Factory as a band. And I think that touring has also been a way to get people adjusted to Milo, as well as gather the resources they've needed to work on a new album, which brings me to this right here, the lemonade out of lemons. Fear Factory posted, the cancellation of the Coal Chamber tour due to Dez's health issues has opened up an exciting new opportunity for us to focus on completing our highly anticipated album. We're sending Dez our best wishes for a rapid recovery and thanking each of you who purchased tickets to see us perform. Your enthusiasm and support are the catalysts for our creativity. We're excited to share our new music with you. Click here to see the rest of the tour dates. So this to me is, I take this bummer now with excitement, because at the end of the day, I would rather hear new music from Fear Factory than go see them perform. That's just where I'm at. I absolutely love it when Fear Factory puts out music. I love their music. It's very poetic. It's very philosophical. It's, you know, therapeutic a lot as well. So new music from them has definitely been a higher priority for me rather than going and seeing them perform, which I know touring is a really great way to help make music. So them posting that really just kind of made me so the tour got canceled, which I think is where a lot of people are with the tour, because again, a lot of people don't really like, as far as from this scene, from the Juggalo scene, I don't think a lot of people really cared about Coal Chamber, and I'm in that camp. And I know for a fact a lot of people from the Juggalo scene don't really seem to care about Fear Factory. Anytime I try to bring them up or make videos or do reviews for them, did not do well at all. I don't think, anytime like I'm in Discord trying to talk about Fear Factory, it's very limited on the amount of people that will engage with me. So Fear Factory is definitely, I think, an acquired music for people. And there's just, I'm not surrounded by a lot of people that like it, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I think as far as this tour goes, from the Juggalo scene, I don't think there was really that much of a care. So seeing it get canceled, I think for a lot of people, is just like, business as usual. And for me, like, again, I had that little bummer moment, but seeing that Fear Factory is going to use the opportunity to work on new music for me is like, okay, I can live with it. Because again, I will see Fear Factory someday on tour. I guarantee you they're going to go on tour again after the new album comes out. That would actually, to me, almost feel like a better time to go see them, because then it's in support of this new album. And again, my plan was to just watch Twiztid, watch Fear Factory, and dip out after that, because I'm not familiar with Coal Chamber's music. There's no diss to them. I'm not. And maybe I should listen to their music and just decide if I even like it or not. I just never felt the desire to go there, I guess. So kind of a bummer that the tour got canceled, but I think for a lot of people it's kind of whatever. Business as usual. So I'm curious how this will affect Twiztid and their new album, but I mean, hey, you got to take your punches and just keep rolling. And I think if they're able to get on another metal or rock tour, whether it be later in the year in support of that album, I think it'll help it. But you know, as far as, I just don't think there's a lot of interest from the Juggalos for it. And there is. I mean, there's pockets of people that do enjoy that music, and I'm one of them. Like, it's not, when I set out to listen to Twiztid, it's not to listen to them do rock music. It's just to, you know, in general, just to hear them rap primarily. But they are someone that I feel they do a decent job at making rock music. But when it comes to rock music, that they're not the first name that pops in my head when it's like, I want to listen to some rock today. You know, it's usually typically Fear Factory, or, you know, depending on my mood, if it's more laid back, maybe Collective Soul. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it for this episode. Tell me down below what you guys think about what's happening now. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.